Some moments are so quiet, they thunder across a whole city. What would you do if justice was poured down your chest, hot, silent, and in front of everyone, and the only sound left was the world holding its breath? This isn't just a story about spilled coffee. It's about what happens when one silent woman's dignity rattles every badge, every bystander, every wall built on secrets. And if you think you know how it ends, you're about to find out what Ridgeway's been hiding all along. You ever watch a moment and know, instantly, something's about to go wrong but you can't look away? That's what happened on Willow and 12th, right as the clock struck 8:15. Gloria Hall, 64 years old, with gray sneakers and a floral scarf, steps into the Morning Brew Cafe. She's quiet, always is. Orders the same thing, sits at the second booth by the window, opens her notebook and barely says a word. The staff know her, maybe not her whole story but enough to call her sweet. Today she smiles at the barista, nods to the regulars and settles in with her black coffee, 1 sugar, no cream. Nobody expects what Deputy Chad Rollins is about to do. He enters like he owns the place. Uniform crisp, badge shining, that practiced half-smile nobody trusts. He scans the room, spots Gloria in his booth. That's where he always sits, or at least that's what he wants you to believe. He walks over, towering above her, and clears his throat. "You mind moving, ma'am? That's my seat." Gloria blinks, calm as ever. "I've been sitting here every Wednesday for 3 years. A few heads turn. The barista freezes, holding a mug mid-air. 2 teenagers at the counter lean in, eyes wide. Rollins flashes that empty smile. "Guess it's time someone reminded you how things work." Without warning, he picks up her coffee, tilts the cup, lets it pour, slow and deliberate, right down the front of her blouse. Hot coffee soaks the fabric, darkening it in seconds. The cafe goes silent. No one gasps. No one moves. Just the hiss of liquid and the distant clink of a spoon. As the hot coffee drips down her blouse, Gloria doesn't flinch. She doesn't cry out, doesn't beg, doesn't even look away. She just stares at him. Steady. Unshaken. The room holds its breath. But the story doesn't end with spilled coffee. Across the cafe, a teenage boy sits frozen, phone in hand. His thumb shakes as he hits record. The lens captures everything. The coffee dripping, Gloria's silent strength, Rollins' badge number glinting in the light. Every second feels electric. The world sees what Ridgeway tried to ignore. He pans the camera, almost by accident, toward the community bulletin board. There, framed behind glass, is a photo. The town's new police chief, Marcus Hall, standing tall in his uniform. And below, 6 bold words, proudly raised by Gloria Hall. By the time Gloria stands and quietly wipes her hands, the video is already bouncing between phones in the cafe. Someone whispers, "Send me that." Another says, "Put it on TikTok." The teenager uploads it, not knowing he's just lit a fuse. Within an hour, the footage explodes across the internet. On Facebook, local woman assaulted by deputy. Who is she? On Twitter, #CoffeeCop. This is why we need change. By noon, 1 million views. Comments flooding in, rage, disbelief, heartbreak. Then someone spots the photo on the bulletin board. It spreads like wildfire. That's her son. She raised the new police chief. Phones ring inside the Ridgeway Police Department. News vans circle the block. And in his office, Chief Marcus Hall refreshes his feed. His mother's face stares back from every screen. His badge suddenly feels heavier than ever. The world's watching, and now everyone knows who Gloria Hall really is. By noon, the video hits 1 million views. The town's police chief, Marcus Hall, sees his mother's face on every screen. Marcus Hall never thought the hardest day of his career would begin with a video. His mother, drenched in coffee, silent and strong. He watches it once, jaw tight. The next second, his phone won't stop buzzing. Reporters. The mayor. His own officers. Even his daughter texting. "Dad, is Grandma okay?" Inside the station, conversations die when Marcus walks by. Old faces look away. The air feels sharp, like everyone's waiting for his next move. The badge is heavy when your own blood is at stake. He calls a meeting, every officer packed into the briefing room. Faces tense, back straight. Some glance at their shoes. A few look defiant, arms crossed. Rollins isn't there, he's been sent home pending investigation. Marcus doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to. Some of you think this is just another headline. It's not. It's my family. But it could have been anyone's. Pause. The silence is thick. "I will not hide behind this badge," he says, voice steady. "We owe this town more than excuses. We owe each other the truth." The mayor calls, urgent. "Marcus, the press is everywhere. The city council wants answers. Control the story or they will. He looks out his office window. The crowd outside is growing, some with signs, others with nothing but questions in their eyes. His phone buzzes again. You'll make enemies, the mayor warns. He stares at his mother's picture, the pain behind her steady eyes. Maybe it's time to make the right ones. Marcus stands before his department, preparing to make a decision that could cost him everything. Will Marcus protect his badge, or his principles? The next step will change not just his life but Ridgeway's future. The decision comes swift. Marcus Hall doesn't wait for permission. By sunrise, Internal Affairs has been called in. Boxes of old files, once gathering dust, are pulled from cabinets. Complaint after complaint, so many marked resolved with no real answers. Some never even saw a signature. Some secrets don't stay buried. A stack of manila folders lands with a heavy thud on Marcus's desk. Reports. Witness statements. Old memos. The deeper he looks, the uglier it gets. Patterns emerge, same names, same accusations year after year. Excessive force. Racial slurs. Intimidation. And too often, no further action. A senior officer speaks in hushed tones. Chief, you sure you want to go down this road? Marcus doesn't hesitate. If not me, then who? Down the hall, word spreads. Some officers exchange worried glances. A few whisper about transferring out. Others, for the first time, seem hopeful. Then an email arrives. Subject, for your eyes only. No body, just attachments. He opens them, scans the pages. Civilian complaints. Internal memos. Even a report never filed, written by a rookie afraid to speak up. One name repeats again and again, Rollins. A report lands on Marcus's desk. There's more rot in the department than anyone guessed. Just as Marcus starts connecting the dots, his phone pings with a message. You haven't seen the worst of it yet. Some stories get buried in paperwork. But this one cracks through concrete. Word spreads across Ridgeway faster than the morning news. By 8 a.m., a line has started forming outside the police station. Not with shouting, not with angry chants. Just presence. Old women with church hats. College students with backpacks. Barbers, business owners, even teachers, standing shoulder to shoulder in the cool morning air. Each person holds a cup of coffee, silent but defiant. Not a protest. A promise. When a community stands together, silence can be deafening. From his window, Marcus watches the crowd grow. The officers inside the station start to whisper. Some shift uncomfortably. Others just stare at the floor. At 9:13, a young organizer wheels up a small speaker and sets out a folding podium on the sidewalk. Her t-shirt reads, "My dignity is not negotiable." She doesn't raise her voice, but everyone listens. A barista delivers coffee to Gloria's door, a quiet gesture seen by the neighbors. Gloria sits by her window, her face calm but unreadable. Then, as Marcus sifts through another pile of complaints, an anonymous note slides under his office door. You missed one. The paper lists a badge number Marcus doesn't recognize, and 3 words, check the files. Some warnings are easy to ignore. But not this one. Marcus studies the anonymous note, heart pounding in his chest. A badge number. No name. Just a trail. He disappears into the records room, old files stacked high, the scent of dust and history filling the space. Row after row, he digs until his fingers tremble. And there it is. A file, thicker than most, stamped with 3 words, no further action. Every secret finds its way to the surface. He flips through the pages, incident after incident, all tied to the same officer, Corporal Daniel Creel. Excessive force. Fabricated evidence. Unjustified detentions. Each case quietly closed. One entry stops him cold, a traffic stop years ago. A young black man bruised and silent. A teenage girl, hands raised in terror, staring straight into the camera before the dashcam cuts to black. Marcus feels the weight of every ignored voice pressing down. He returns to his office, eyes burning from the late-night search. He lays out the files, each one a silent testimony. As Marcus prepares to expose the 8th officer, the department begins to turn against him. The next morning, Marcus wakes to news alerts. An edited video is spreading online, twisting his words and painting him as a man on a vendetta. The city's faith begins to fracture. The battle isn't just outside anymore. It's inside every wall, every whisper, every badge. The doctored video spreads like wildfire, clips of Marcus's internal meetings chopped and twisted. The story online isn't about justice anymore. It's about division. He's targeting good officers. He's out for revenge. Anonymous comments flood social feeds. Radio talk shows ignite with callers, some defending, most accusing. Sometimes justice tears everything apart before it rebuilds. Inside the station, the mood curdles. A senior officer corners Marcus in the hallway, voice tight. You're turning us against each other. You want a witch hunt? You got one. Union leaders organize a vote of no confidence. Whispers ripple down every corridor. Some officers call in sick, others threaten to quit. The break room is silent, but the tension is loud. Outside, the crowd has doubled. Some wave signs, truth matters. Others scowl, muttering about politics poisoning the force. The mayor's call comes late. Her voice is strained. Marcus, you're making enemies. Either you stand down or council takes your badge. I can't protect you if you won't compromise. Marcus doesn't answer at first. He glances at the evidence files, at the faces behind every ignored complaint. He knows what he'll choose. He walks into the next command meeting, room packed, eyes on him. In front of everyone, he slides a folder onto the table. I'm not here to protect comfort. I'm here to protect the truth. Nobody breathes. Not yet. One file can change everything, if someone's brave enough to open it. City Hall is packed. Reporters fill every aisle. Residents crowd the steps, some holding candles, others clutching copies of the viral video. Marcus steps up to the mic, no script, just a heavy folder. He looks out, sees faces, angry, hopeful, afraid. He lifts the file. 71 complaints, he says. All ignored, all buried. If justice makes you uncomfortable, maybe you've mistaken comfort for safety. A hush falls. He opens the folder, page by page, naming names, cases that vanished, voices that were silenced. The mayor listens, jaw clenched, weighing every word. The room holds its breath. Suddenly, a shout erupts from the back. A man, his voice trembling, steps forward, holding a faded photo. My son filed a complaint 3 years ago. It disappeared. Today I saw the officer's name on your list. Thank you. The mayor looks at Marcus. For a moment, the whole city waits. Then, against every expectation, she stands with him. She turns to the council, voice strong. I reject any motion to block these reforms. Oversight should not fear the truth. Justice does not fear daylight. A single clap. Then another. Hope is contagious. But back at the police station, as word spreads, power flickers. Lights cut out. Servers go dark. Files disappear from the system. Marcus stares at the blank monitors, knowing someone inside is trying to erase the truth. But outside, the crowd grows, hungry for answers, unwilling to leave. A city can break or it can bend toward something new. The power outage isn't just about lost files. It's about trust already hanging by a thread. Inside the station, officers argue in hushed voices. Some demand investigations into the sabotage. Others just want to forget. A few start packing up their desks, silent resignations in their eyes. On social media, Ridgeway is a battleground. Some posts say Marcus is a hero. Others call him a traitor. Talk radio is a storm. Is this justice or a witch hunt? Yet outside, the crowd doesn't scatter. Mothers hold coffee cups in the morning chill. Teenagers post videos promising they'll never stop watching. A young woman steps up with a speaker and simply says, "If they erase the past, we'll rewrite it louder." A city councilman stands at the back of the hall, arms folded. He's not alone. Some want reform, others want revenge. The line is drawn and everyone can feel it. A community member quietly approaches Marcus with a thumb drive. "It's a backup," she whispers. "Every file. Don't let them bury this." Marcus plugs it in, hope flickers back on screen. The truth is harder to erase than anyone thought. But as relief washes over him, an envelope arrives at his office. No return address. Inside, a single sheet. Back off or you lose more than your badge. Marcus looks up at the silent squad room, wondering who's standing with him and who's standing in the shadows.